Prepare for an explosive night of wrestling drama. The air crackles with anticipation as WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg steps into the ring for what could be his final stand against the formidable World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. Can the icon claim one last championship glory? But that's just the opening act. Brace yourselves as LA Knight clashes with Seth Rollins, Jey Uso challenges Solo Sikoa for the United States Championship, and Drew McIntyre throws down with Randy Orton, in what promises to be a brutal encounter. Yet, beneath the surface of these epic battles, dark clouds gather. Shocking news about Seth Rollins' injury and the revelation of John Cena's final opponent. The twists and turns are just beginning. For all the adrenaline-pumping details and exclusive wrestling insights every day, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss a single second. The night kicked off with a high-stakes tag match. Drew McIntyre, accompanied by Logan Paul, facing off against Randy Orton, who had Jelly Roll in his corner. This wasn't just about the Scottish psychopath and the Viper. It was also about the simmering tension between Logan Paul and Jelly Roll. As the match progressed, Logan Paul relentlessly taunted Jelly Roll from ringside, provoking the rapper into shoving him to the ground. Back inside the ring, McIntyre, momentarily distracted by shouting at Jelly Roll, created an opening for Orton. The Viper seized the opportunity, delivering a devastating RKO out of nowhere to secure the 1, 2, 3 count. Randy Orton defeated Drew McIntyre. The drama didn't end with the bell. Immediately after the match, Logan Paul blindsided Randy Orton, launching a fierce attack. However, Jelly Roll swiftly intervened, rushing into the ring and leveling the Maverick with a powerful punch. Just as Jelly Roll seemed to have gained the upper hand, Drew McIntyre retaliated, sending the rapper into next week with a brutal Claymore kick to the head. WWE staff quickly rushed to check on Jelly Roll's condition. This intense sequence then transitioned into hype time for the upcoming Evolution plea, showcasing participants for tomorrow's event, including Rhea Ripley, Women's Champion Io Sky, and Jade Cargill. The calm was shattered when Naomi suddenly stormed the scene, attacking Cargill. Then, the SmackDown general manager appeared, announcing a special referee for tomorrow's no-holds-barred match, the returning Bianca Belair. Next on the card was the United States Championship match, pitting champions Solo Sikoa against Big Jimmy Uso. Solo had a significant advantage with his new faction, the MFTs, at ringside. Despite this, Jimmy remained unfazed, but the distraction proved costly. Solo capitalized, rolling up Jimmy for the win, with Talatonga providing extra leverage for the pin. Solo Sikoa retained the U.S. Championship. As expected, Solo and his crew delivered a brutal post-match assault on Jimmy Uso. Just as they were about to inflict more damage, Jacob Fatu made a dramatic save. The Samoan werewolf swiftly took out Solo and his associates, initially struggling against the mammoth Talatonga, but ultimately outsmarting him and sending him out of the ring. A backstage segment followed, where Kathy Kelly interviewed Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. Orton expressed regret about bringing Jelly Roll to ringside, but Jelly Roll dismissed his concerns, confidently stating that Drew and Logan likely perceived ham is soft. He vowed that they were about to learn otherwise. Orton then proposed making their rivalry official, a tag team match at SummerSlam, featuring Jelly Roll and Randy Orton against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. The match was officially confirmed, leaving fans to ponder the potential tag team name. RK Rolo. The penultimate match of the night saw Seth Rollins, accompanied by Paul Heyman, facing off against LA Knight. LA Knight received a roaring ovation, a pop truly befitting his megastar nickname, and he immediately demonstrated his ability to go toe-to-toe with Rollins. However, an alarming moment occurred when Rollins attempted an Asai Moonsault but landed awkwardly on his feet, wincing instantly in pain. A doctor rushed to the corner to check on him. Despite the obvious discomfort, Rollins insisted he was able to continue the match. Almost immediately, Knight delivered the BFT, pinning Rollins for the win. The crowd, stunned by the unexpected finish and Rollins' apparent injury, fell into a collective silence. Finally, it was time for the main event. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther defending his title against Bill Goldberg in what was billed as Goldberg's last match ever. At 58 years old, Goldberg defied expectations, going toe-to-toe with his 37-year-old opponent and still appearing in terrific physical condition. Goldberg seemed to have Gunther in his grasp after hitting a spear, but unfortunately, the impact was on referee Charles Robinson, who had taken quite a beating this month. Gunther seized the opportunity, targeting Goldberg's injured knee, deliberately removing his knee brace, and relentlessly working on it while taunting him. The ring general became overly cocky, however, allowing Goldberg to rally. Hitting another spear followed by a jackhammer as a replacement referee entered the ring. Despite this, Goldberg was out of position, and the split-second delay in making the cover cost him the 3 count. Gunther managed to recover, locking in a sleeper hold that forced Bill to tap out. Gunther retained the World Heavyweight Championship as Saturday night's main event concluded. Now, let's dissect the night's events, examining the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Starting with the good, the unexpected Claymore kick delivered by Drew McIntyre to Jelly Roll sparked considerable discussion. While some might question celebrating a heel's attack on a celebrity, especially given the ongoing debate about celebrities taking valuable TV time from established superstars, the incident generated buzz. Although no thank you, Drew chants erupted. The upcoming SummerSlam match between Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul is poised to be highly intriguing. Another positive aspect was Naomi's relentless pursuit of Jade Cargill. Since Cargill's return, Naomi has been all gas and no brakes, seeking vengeance and demonstrating a newfound aggression. This hunter becoming the hunted dynamic has been compelling, as Naomi has continuously tried to sideline Cargill, mirroring Cargill's actions from the previous year. Tonight's brawl between the two was a wild and effective way to build anticipation for their match tomorrow. The surprise announcement of Bianca Belair as the special referee for tomorrow's Evolution event further heightened excitement, leaving fans to speculate whether Belair might even turn heel. The WCW reunion during Goldberg's match against Gunther provided a nostalgic touch for longtime fans. The sight of former WCW head of security Doug Dillinger escorting Big Bad Bill to the ring, alongside former WCW talent Ernest the Cat Miller, was a welcome tribute. Goldberg, being accompanied by his son, Gage, added a personal and touching element. These small details made Saturday night's main event appeal directly to old-school fans. Finally, Big Jim Uso made a strong showing tonight, reclaiming some of his spotlight after a year of largely being overshadowed by his highly successful twin brother. Jey Uso, while Solo was favored to retain the championship, Jimmy presented himself as a legitimate contender, taking the fight to Solo and his MFT associates. This could signify a positive turning point for Jimmy, or it might have been his last significant opportunity, especially considering Jey Uso's apparent recent slide down the card on Raw. USO fans are justified in their skepticism about Jimmy's future trajectory. Moving on to the bad, the handling of Goldberg's retirement match by WWE drew significant criticism, despite the inclusion of his friends and son escorting him to the ring and his attempt at a pre-match skirmish with Gunther. The finish of the match felt poorly booked. Goldberg ultimately passed out to Gunther's sleeper hold instead of being pinned, which many felt was an unsatisfying conclusion for a retirement match. What made it worse was WWE cutting to commercial immediately after the match and then going off the air during Goldberg's farewell speech to the fans, preventing viewers at home from hearing his full address. It's even rumored that Goldberg name-dropped Cody Rhodes during his cutoff speech. Fans questioned the timing, given WWE's usually precise television production. This led to speculation about whether it was a deliberate dig at Goldberg due to his past criticisms of WWE or his recent comments about Braun Breaker being the only one who should use the spear. Was it a colossal blunder or a spiteful move? Further concern arose regarding John Cena's upcoming final match, which is also slated for Saturday night's main event. Fans worry that WWE might repeat the disrespectful treatment by cutting to commercial during his post-match celebration or farewell speech. Such an act would be inexcusable for a legend like Cena, while he could deliver a planned speech on Raw. It's almost inevitable that commercial breaks will interrupt his last ever match. Many argue that WWE should eliminate commercials entirely for such a monumental occasion. The Saturday night's main event itself continues to be an unusual and concerning aspect of WWE programming. It exists in an ambiguous space, seemingly more significant than weekly shows like Raw or SmackDown on paper, yet not quite a pay-per-view event. It often feels like a 2-hour commercial, designed to draw casual fans back to WWE with nostalgia and quick matches. While this concept isn't inherently bad, its execution has been flawed. WWE has been exceptionally conservative with its booking on this show, leading to predictable finishes and short matches that rarely tell a compelling story, with Goldberg's retirement match being a notable exception. Matches like Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre felt like typical weekly television bouts that deserved more time to develop. Finally, the downright ugly truth of the night emerged with the unfortunate news regarding Seth Rollins. Rollins reportedly suffered a knee injury during his match against LA Knight, at potentially the worst possible time. As the top heel on Raw and the current Mr. Money in the Bank, his injury could necessitate massive alterations to WWE's meticulously crafted plans. Multiple sources, including Bodyslam.net, single quotes as Corey Hayes and Fightful Select, confirmed that Rollins' injury was legitimate and unplanned by medical personnel. The injury occurred when Rollins attempted an Asai Moonsault but landed awkwardly, clutching his knee. He and LA Knight immediately went for the finish, with Knight securing the quick win. Backstage reports confirmed the legitimacy of the injury, and while the severity remains unknown, fans extended well wishes for his speedy recovery. Corey Hayes also tweeted that if Seth were to miss extended time, it would force WWE to alter multiple stories once again in a span of a few weeks. Some fans immediately suggested holding a replacement Money in the Bank match at SummerSlam if Rollins is out for an extended period. Interestingly, many fans initially doubted the legitimacy of Rollins' injury, believing it was a calculated part of a larger plan for him to fake an injury, only to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase later in the show during the Gunther vs. Goldberg bout. Unfortunately, this was not the case. Instead, a new report from PW Insider states that Rollins was actually supposed to defeat LA Knight. This, coupled with the abrupt manner in which Knight won, hitting the BFT as soon as Rollins got to his feet, strongly suggests that an audible was indeed called during the match due to the injury. It is too early to tell what's next for Seth Rollins and WWE's plans for him. Rollins has been a consistent workhorse for Raw, having won the World Heavyweight title when WWE launched it in 2023, often battling through injuries. He did take time off after WrestleMania 42, address an ACL injury suffered earlier in 2024. However, his recent heel turn at WrestleMania 41, where he aligned with Paul Heyman and brought in Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed as his henchmen, was meant to kickstart another major push for a superstar who had been less prominent in 2024. His Money in the Bank briefcase win further cemented his path to a world title. While this injury may be a temporary setback, it starkly highlights the uncertainty inherent in wrestling and how a single injury to a key talent can disrupt long-term plans and create significant ripple effects throughout the product. If Rollins is sidelined for any substantial period, WWE will have to scramble to find a new top heel on Raw, especially since Roman Reigns was reportedly slated to return at SummerSlam to reignite his feud with Rollins. The story continues to unfold, and updates will be provided as more information becomes available, with well wishes sent to Seth Rollins for his recovery. Finally, the biggest revelation of the night came with the news of John Cena's last ever opponent. Now that Gunther has defeated Goldberg, a new report from WRKD Wrestling suggests that the ring general has another WWE legend in his sights. Goldberg isn't the last person Gunther hopes to retire. Current plans indicate that Gunther is slated to be John Cena's final opponent. It is believed that Cena's last match will also take place on Saturday night's main event, fueling renewed concerns about his farewell address potentially being cut short by commercials. This recap and review of Saturday night's main event provide a comprehensive look at all the wildest news stories and rumors. Be sure to leave your comments below. For more exciting wrestling content and breaking news, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video.